It's the final day of the Smite Pro League powered by Curse Voice. Gandhi joined by Adonis. We are heading over to North America, where we will now see Legion of Carrots take on AFK Gaming.
Yeah, Legion of Carrots surprised me, and I think a lot of players... Locks? No, it's L... Is it LG? See, it was LGN when they were just Legion. Now it's Legion of Carrots, but it's still LGN. Should it change to Lock?
Maybe it should just be Carrots.
Team Carrots?
Yeah.
No one wants to get behind healthy food.
I could.
Legion surprised me. They surprised a lot of people. 2-0ing COG, but COG did look a little weak here.
For sure.
This is going to be a true test for them facing off against debatably the top team in North America, or in Scott's bandwagoning, the best team in the world, you know.
It's not bandwagon. It's actually a fact.
No, they are very good. They won the spring finals. They traded out with TSM. They are looking very dominant. Legion is going to have a hard time.
For sure. I think the big thing here is going to be, can DJ Pernicus outdo Weekend in the jungle?
You know what the big thing is? Sammy makes his return.
Oh,
Sam Shrew is
God,
subbing.
we forgot about this.
I love Sammy.
No, I'm saying we forgot to mention it.
It sounded like a very depressing...
Well, it's not Bart casting, right?
Can we just...
So, anyways, Allied was unable to make this first game here.
Yes.
So they're using Sam Shrew, who I believe is now 14.
I don't know.
Maybe. In the Hunter role, he played on Fat Chunks Assemble with a Roar in Season 1, so now he will be making his debut in Season 2.
Yep, so he's now roster locked as a sub for AFK. I'm assuming they had him in their roster before to be able to play today, so it's going to be interesting. Additionally, Well Plaid, I think, is now playing. He was the main starter for them, but he was not able to make it week 1, so he's actually playing in this first game. Well Plaid in the solo lane instead of Salt Machine that we saw last week.
So Salt Machine did actually play really well last week too.
Yes.
And when we did the interview, he was like, "Oh yeah, big shout out to him. He played great." But so unfortunately for him, he will not be playing again, as it is time for Picks and Bans AFK versus Legion of Carrots. Get your tweets out there. Tell everyone. It's time to see what AFK's got cooking for us here.
They're going to ban out Hoonbots straight away. Don't want DJ Pernicus to run that. And no surprise, Bologna, one of Weekend's favorite junglers here in the summer split.
Weekend has a bunch of junglers he's playing. And surprisingly, or unfortunately for him, he's not able to play Ratatasker, who he's played about 1,300 games with already in the PCS.
That's a lot of games.
It's hyperbole, bro. Athena gets taken out. This is Sylvanus already for AFK. That's going to go straight to Incon. They've given it up, and I can't see him picking anything else.
You think it's going to be Sylvanus?
It's got to be. I mean, that's the #1 pick right now, and also gives him guaranteed lane control unless AFK has figured out some way to beat him.
No, it's going to be Neith, so they're going to pick up that.
All right.
They're going to pick up the god that fits into multiple roles. Mid lane, solo lane, ADC. They don't have the last pick. They don't have the counter pick in the solo lane, but they will have counter picks elsewhere picking up this Neith early.
It's going to be really tough here. Now, Incon does love him some Sun Wukong in the duo lane here, which could help with the push as well, just because Magic Cudgel does an extra 20% damage to the creeps. So Neith mixed with Magic Cudgel could help out. It could make a decent impact here, but Isis will get picked in for Legion, and already the tales of early game are being cheered for LOC.
Sylvanus, I knew this was coming. I wanted to say it, but I was like, no, maybe they'll wait. They pick up Nemesis. Actually, Weekend loves this god, and he can build it very similar to Bologna. His ultimate is actually going to be able to steal the protections away, and they're going to look to abuse Sylvanus early. They want to catch him on an early rotation if Weekend is able to hit 5 before those mid camps.
My God, the evolution. Xbalanque gets taken out here. Direct shot at Allied, a.k.a. Sam Shrew now in this game, #1. So Xbalanque gone, and now that'll be Ymir who gets banned out for them. And now we will see who they decide to pick up. Keep in mind, Legion does have the counter pick here. So they have the Medusa. They are looking for a jungler as well as a solo laner.
It's going to be Cabrakan locked in here.
Again!
Another early game control-oriented god. Legion has a very strong early game that can also transition into the mid game. They're going to be controlling most of their lanes.
Poseidon. Give Kiki Poseidon here and have him run wild with the Divine Judgment throwing down. And instead, we're going to see the Nuwa, who this is something that Lassus ran yesterday. And it makes sense because, well, AFK, they're scrim partners with Eager, so they probably know that this works out. So really the key for Kiki here is to somehow find a way to get Clay Soldiers plus Shining Metal combo damage on his opposition without putting himself in a spot where he's going to die.
Yeah.
Which is like the hardest thing in the world.
It is very hard. But AFK here, traditionally, they are an early game team. They like to get ahead early, but they're running a little bit of a later game comp against Legion, who their dual lane is going to be... It is Neith, though. Neith is going to be very safe in that ADC role against a Sylvanus Medusa. Her clear is too strong for them to really outpush her or push her under tower to lose gold. So... Still, though, Legion looking very strong early. It's going to be a question of if AFK can hold on or find the picks with Nemesis onto Sylvanus' rotations.
Let's even reduce it to something more simple than that.
Okay.
Is Samshrew going to be a competitive player? Can he play at this caliber versus Legion? Or is 4 members of AFK, their traditional team, better than 5 members of a starting roster on Legion? That's really it.
It's
at a surface level, that's what it means.
He's playing Neith, right? So... almost every hunter in the scene can play Neith at a high level early on.
Brad can play Neith.
Exactly. Samshrew's going to be fine. He's going to sit in this lane, he's going to farm up, and he's going to ult across the map to make use of his to benefit his team here. And right away, though, Legion, they're looking to fight someone.
And they're not going to find anyone home as DJ Pernicus goes, well, you know, and I got these huge shoulders. It's going to take me 3.5 seconds to turn around. As Cabrakan has like the weirdest dreads in the world.
We're likely to see an invade come out from Legion. I would suggest that they invade. Vamana not too strong, but Cabrakan is going to look good here early on.
They've done... look at AFK. Look at the change in gameplay from them, right? You're seeing 3 defensive wards. 2 on the side of Gold Fury, and then 1 just right by the mid Harpies for mid lane.
Yeah, they're playing this, and look at this. You can see Legion trying to invade red buff. They walked it right over a ward. AFK knows this is coming.
Yep, Kiki's going to back him up.
And now Legion's going to be late. Legion's going to be late to their buff because AFK recognizes that they're backing out. Oh, they're still not going to defend.
They're going to give this up. They're giving this one up.
No, they're not. No, Legion was too slow for it, right? They're not going to get anything.
And they're going to hit a stun here on Kiki. And the question is whether or not they'll go for this. And they're going to try to burn this down. And this could be the game right here if they do not secure this. They have to be very careful. Kiki comes in. And they were able to take away that buff. And now DJ Pernicus steals away the blue buff. Cyclone Spin is blueless. And now Incon and Weaken. Well, Weaken, see you later, buddy. 5-second respawn early on. Keep in mind here, guys. There's one thing you need to know about Nemesis is that she's very late game based. And that's going to delay that late game even more. Great job by Legion so far.
Yeah, AFK drafting a late game comp and Legion recognizing it. They draft early and mid game and they come out to a very strong lead. Now, they did lose their purple buff on the left side, but Legion was so delayed in getting it that they actually didn't get as far ahead as they should have, I think. And then a first blood by DJ Pernicus is huge.
I'll tell you what, if they lose this game, and I know it's like a minute and 15 seconds in, right? But I'm just going to get this point out of the way. If they lose this game, I would hate to be allied coming in talking to Weaken after it. Like, that's death. Weaken will eat him.
Weaken eats everyone. And DJ actually going to go on Weaken again here. Spirit Ball too slow. If it was there faster and caught that dash, Weaken would have died a second time. DJ Pernicus is level 4 at a minute and 30 seconds.
Destroying.
And already stealing red buff.
He's feeling the rhythm right now. Red buff will be taken here. And this the jungle belongs to them. It's a 147 as DJ Pernicus gets this. And you can see his experience bar. He's about quarter of the way there to level 5. And by the way, last game, Captain Twig hit level 20 at 1742.
I did.
Yeah.
I retweeted that.
Nuts.
Thank you.
I was just letting you know I didn't see it.
Okay, thank you.
Listen.
I want to give
Sorry for
shout-outs
being
to
a friend.
Well Plaid there. Weaken, fantastic job recognizing DJ is stealing his red buff. At the same time, Weaken goes to steal the speed buff. Well Plaid recognizes it, stops him in his tracks.
Panda Cat's just poking poor Samshrew out of this one. He will just shove this wave and pull it back. And Cyclone Spin, he's level 4, blue buffless, but you know, Well Plaid, he's got to play it a little bit differently versus a hunter in the solo lane.
He's still going to be looking. He just wants to farm up. He wants to be incredibly safe there and not take too much poke. Can we take a look at what he's leveling? Well Plaid, that is.
Well Plaid, taking a look.
It's going to be his 3. Yeah, it's going to be that armored umbrella. He's going to be playing it safe. Doesn't want to put himself out of position and risk getting poked out here. And he's actually going to rotate to these mids.
Yeah, I love this, man. He's going to be able to lock down the right side Harpies all by himself. Incon in a lot of trouble here. He has nowhere to go. Turn around, knock up, not enough. Hit the timeline, buddy. 10 seconds on the respawn here.
1,200 gold lead by Legion of Carrots already. They're looking dominant. They outpicked AFK for this early game to mid-game team comp, and they are making use of it. They're showing that they're a team to be feared in the North American SPL.
Well, this is exactly what we were talking about, is the fact that Legion of Carrots, if they win this game, they're probably the 4th best team in North America.
But at the same time, Eager has been establishing himself.
This then Denial went toe-to-toe with Eager yesterday.
This may be a story of all these teams, 1 through 5, could take games off each other.
Yeah, with the exception of TSM, who seems to be, a little bit better in the sense of...
We'll have to see when they face these other opponents.
Yeah, it's really like TSM just doesn't lose games to teams who they're not supposed to.
Yes.
That's the big thing.
They're consistent. They're solid.
Yeah. And it's probably just a little bit of the aura as Sam Shrew will backflip off the wave. And Pain to Beyond, the one thing that's fun about Sylvanus is when you force out the backflip from Neith, that pull is free for Sylvanus. He's just like, oh, I know exactly where you're going.
Yep.
How dare you?
It's still hard to line up, though. I don't want to... And also, you're slow to Sylvanus, so it's harder to get in position to hit that pull. But... Pain to Beyond, he's an established player. He's going to most likely hit it every single time.
Yeah.
And right now, Legion has been doing everything they need to keep their lead consistent. And you can already see them rotating to that speed buff on the enemy's side, but AFK Gaming running 4 into it.
Yep. They're going to make sure to lock this down as DJ Pernicus, he's on the blue buff here. Are they going to commit on this? Cataclysm, is it up? It is. They're going to dump everything into DJ Pernicus. Neith ultimate as well. Tremors hits, and now down goes DJ Pernicus. Nuwa actually gets that one. Big Baby's up. He's going to turn around and stomp. That's going to also mean that a Duro is here in Wellplaid. Look at how much Colossal Fury heals you up. He's at half health. He had no business being in here, and he's just going to get poked out. Oh my God, Cyclone Spin, missing auto. For love of God, missing auto. Wrath of Terror wasted, as now he will live and continue to stay in the lane here. That was a great job from AFK, even though Panda Cat will be taken out by the S.
He's going to find a kill there in that dual lane, and he had been getting pressured all game. That's a bad spill for Samshrew here. 2 levels behind already.
I want to go back to the picks and bans phase where I really think that AFK, I understand how the Nemesis plays into the Sylvanus, but
honestly,
there's just no support who can handle Sylvanus right now, man.
I'm really surprised they picked the Nuwa as well. I think the Nemesis was a great pick to counter their Sylvanus. They also picked Cabrakan into it, incredibly strong, but Cyclone Spin going to find a solo kill against Wellplaid. Did Wellplaid ever back, or did he stay with like no health?
I think he stayed with about half health, yeah.
He was like less than half health.
No, Colossal Fury got him up there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now we see Legion of Carrots here. They're rotating in, but don't get to the red buff in time. DJ, no blink online. Can he find Kiki, though? He's
going to find Kiki. He's also going to find Samshrew. And, well, the stun's going to come out. Geb Shield will be there as well. Nemesis trying to whack away, but he sees the circle of protection. Not going to be enough. Cataclysm, Incon doing the best he can. DJ Pernicus trying to chase him down, slice and dice to slow him down a smidge, and the Spirit Ball will hit, and Incon, well, seconds away from dying here, watching the mid camps get taken on his death screen. I would say he's not happy, but it's Incon, so he's probably just like laughing, just like having a decent time.
I would not be laughing. Incon's not laughing.
His heart is made of candy
for right now, and if Legion can find this, that's going to be huge.
Oh.
We get stunned out, and they secure the Gold Fury.
Yep, and now Nemesis is dead. This is weakened. This really looks to me right there, that play, I almost want to say AFK is just on tilt. Like, Weaken hasn't played from behind in so far that he's trying to force a bunch to come out of nothing, and it's just failing for him.
I mean, it's just these picks that AFK Gaming has. They take so long to come online, and Legion of Carrots have been doing a fantastic job of abusing Cabrakan and Isis's early game. Additionally, Panda Cat finding a solo kill against Samshrew propels him even further ahead. He's already got Aussie online. He is not scared to trade out a Neith, which is typically where Neith shines, right? You can't trade her out. She has a heal in her kit if you don't go Devo Gloves.
I would have loved to seen Poseidon in this game instead of the Nuwa.
I think that would have been a much better pick, but it's a question of whether Nuwa can come online, and AFK Gaming needs to slow this game down. They're grouping up to counter Legion, but Legion is still getting away with it.
This is, I can sum this up in a couple words here, as this is the Cyclone Spin show. That's what this game will come down to in this game number 1. He's 1-0-1. He took the tower sub 7 minutes, and he's going to continue to just force this lead. He's going to try to split push, and if a Gold Fury gets started up in 3 minutes and 40 seconds when it gets started up, or when it comes back up, he's going to be able to take that tier 2, and possibly even a Phoenix if that fight lasts that long. He's just going to be a split push guy.
Yeah, likely. But they also need him for team fights. A lot of AFK's success is on Cyclone Spin's rotations. He's always the 5th man against the 4 grouped up on the enemy team. This time, if he dedicates himself to split push, it's gonna be risky. There's Legion again.
Yep. Saving the Clay Soldiers is Kiki, and I believe he actually put 2 points into his Clay Soldier so he could have 2 of them. And the wall comes out as well. The pull is gonna hit, avoiding the Spirit Ball there, and Weekend comes in. Circle protection's down. They don't want to fight in this, and Weekend now is forced to go out. He's got the shield. Dash, dash. Cyclone Spin into the action. Aduro, he wants him dead. Not able to find him. Hits the Mez. Kiki gets the kill. And now it's going to be Weekend trying to run away, as he is just going to be right under that tier 1, and Wellplaid was able to take out Kiki.
Huge misplay from Legion of Carrots there. They're still able to trade out 1 for 1, though, and steal away a buff. Positive for them overall, but they could have had that much cleaner. You just saw them. All 3 players time their abilities different when trying to pick off Incon. He's able to escape.
Weekend now trying to save that speed buff there. Not going to happen, as his back's against the wall. 0-2-2, experience difference here, 4,600 at 9 minutes. It's going to be really tough. I mean, just base stats alone, that makes Legion's just better.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen a lot of these teams run these double hunter really... We talked about it in the earlier set, right?
Yeah.
You run these double hunters, but you don't have a strong 3 core. You don't have a mid, you don't have a jungler, and you don't have a support that are early game. All of them are late game, right? Nemesis.
Yeah.
Nuwa, Geb, none of them can fight early, and they're just getting abused.
I'll tell you what would have been the dream for the double hunters here. Would have been 1, Poseidon in the mid, and then like Thor jungle. Because you can build him a little bit tankier and kind of make him like this front line and just destroy him. But now you're at the point where DJ Pernicus has a mystical male. He's only going to get tankier from here on out. Big Baby, a.k.a. Wellplaid, he's just going to keep getting bigger. And he's got Colossal Fury as just the ultimate escape. And then you have Sylvanus giving heals to everyone. I think this team is unkillable.
Again, DJ, though, not in range. He's going to turn on Kiki here.
Ugh. That's trouble here. Cataclysm now will follow up at the end. Weekend now trying to do everything he can. He's on Aduro. The boxing match has continued, and now he will dash out of this one, avoiding the Cabrakan ultimate. And you can just see... You know, we've seen the Cabrakan played 3 times now. This is the 3rd, and he's been 50%, but it looks like he's about to be 66.
They're so tanky. They have Sylvanus whips. They have a jungler who's got mystical mail. Additionally, it's so hard to kill Vamana with his base stats incredibly high. He's already building tanky. And then Isis has circle protection on top of it for increased protections for his team. It's going to be hard for them to find any kill, especially with how long it's going to take for them to come online. Gold Fury.
Yep, Weekend's going to go ahead and go back. I mean, that's going to be an Ichabod. And you're seeing Kiki. He went into the Divine Ruin for a little bit of anti-heal, but, I mean, it's not going to be enough. They're going to need even more than that. I wouldn't be surprised to see, like, a Brawler's Beat Stick come out of one of these Hunters to really just help it even a little bit more, because you have Circle of Protection, you got Colossal Fury, you got the Lifesteal from Panda Cat, and then Wisp. They're going to have to answer that call.
We actually see here... Slowed down pace. Gold Fury's up, though. Legion, they're looking to grab their buffs before they go on this Gold Fury. Pain de Beyond is just making sure AFK doesn't sneak it. Circle Protection is up as well. All ultimates online outside of Wrath of Terra for Pain de Beyond. Likely to be up here in a couple seconds.
Weekend now hits the rotation. The game could possibly be made or broken here for AFK. Cyclone Spin now. He will be moving into the mid lane. This will give Wellplaid at least some guaranteed farm in the soul lane and try to shove down. He probably won't be able to kill the tower, but if they want to force it, they can do it.
That's the only thing AFK is scared of right now, is Cyclone Spin. If he can't get online, they're golden.
No. And he's level 13, and he's getting ready to hit level 14. As now you can see the pinks go down. They're knocking off on the Gold Fury. Cyclone Spin hitting this rotation very, very fast. He still has his ultimate. As per usual, it's up. Weekend sees it.
Weekend's gonna get pinched by Vamana here.
He's in trouble. He's stunned out. He's dead. Curtains, oh my god, he managed to stay alive. In comes the Apollo, crashing down into the middle. The knockup happens. Gold Fury gets reset. Kiki doesn't have the burst damage. He's still so early. And Cyclone Spin will continue to live. Weaken, meanwhile, in the mid lane, was still just trying to farm up. Samshrew now is getting zoned out by Wellplaid. Will they be able to get in here and get this done? They don't have their level 3 hand, and Weaken forced to dash, just really trying to stay alive the best way he can. Neith backflip. Legion of Carrots takes the second Gold Fury. They are 2 for 2. DJ Pernicus takes out Weaken. What a crazy game. I did not see this one coming. And that means lead. Dot's going to be right if this...
We cannot have that.
I know, man.
Legion of Carrots are looking really good.
They look great.
They're playing their picks. I'd say this is a misdrop from AFK that leads to the Legion of Carrots win. If that happens, right? We're still not there. AFK still has a chance. It's going to be still down to Cyclone Spin, 1-0 and 2, but it's going to be hard for him to kill anyone. We just see all this physical protection stacked up for them. They have a Mystical Mail, they have a Rune Forged, and then they have a Sovereignty. Who is he going to kill? And Isis, but she's protected by so
many. Really, the big thing here, if you guys are wondering at home as to why we're saying like this game's over, is in North America, when we see like a substantial lead happen in the early game and it's not going to transition well into the mid game, such as, you know, AFK really has to wait for the late game. We kind of start to write them off and paint this picture of, you know, Legion of Carrots is the team right now.
Yes.
And that's really all it is.
On Legion
it's a possibility still to win.
It's on Legion to mess up.
Exactly.
We're at the point where Legion has to mess up. They have to allow AFK to farm it out to late game.
Yep.
And they do not look like that's their plan. They have been continuing the pressure. They've been finding pick after pick. They're not
Four-man grouping.
They're not even doing huge team fights. They're just finding these picks and invading, just like this.
Yep. 4-man invade right into the red buff. This jungle control map is going to be so skewed. Kiki now zoned out. He will head back. He's only got a Divine Ruin, and, you know, Nuwa is one of these gods who you have to wait until kind of late game, but really mid game, her damage starts doing insane amount. And so traditionally, we see Warlock Sash on her because it scales with the Clay Soldiers, giving them a little bit more health.
The thing about Nuwa is that it's hard to get her burst off.
Yeah.
She actually has a ton of damage if she can explode the Clay Soldiers and hit you with Shining Metal as well. But that requires a little bit of setup time and basically the other player to not be prepared for it. It's not easy to hit, it's not easy to combo, and it requires the other player to be stunned out in some other form beforehand.
Weaken, he has the timer down. He's trying to crawl back into this game. He wants the speed buff. Cyclone Spin's here as well. And Wellplaid, all things considered, he's not exactly won the lane because he lost the tower, however you want to decide it, but he's got a level advantage. And he's making sure that Cyclone Spin never can push that tier 2, giving 1,500 gold to his team.
He's been doing fantastic rotations. He's been baiting Cyclone over, back to the lane. We saw it the last Gold Fury there. We saw Cyclone Spin at mid lane. Wellplaid was rotated over. He's like, oh, I'm not going to be there. Legion backs off a Gold Fury. Wellplaid pushes up the lane. They force Cyclone back. Cyclone's in his lane. They start up Gold Fury.
Yep. Magic Cudgel getting bought here from Weaken. He's got 2 options. He can go into Rune Forge or he can go into Frostbound Hammer. My guess is on the Frostbound Hammer.
Most likely. That's an item he really likes to pick up, and he's going to build it very similar to his Bologna build.
He lost it! He didn't get the mid-harpies, and he runs straight into a Panda Cat. Divine Judgment thrown onto the Medusa here, and he's going to get killed, and Samshrew is going to pay with his life as well, just getting kind of caught in the chaos. And he was just an innocent bystander in that fight, and he just gets destroyed.
AFK, Legion is playing like AFK.
Oh, yeah.
That is really what it comes down to. They're playing this early game, and Cyclone Spin gonna have his beads forced. They're only rank 2.
Well, I'll tell you what. As Cabrakan manages to stay alive, Jesus.
Encon gets pulled back in by Pain Devion, takes a full Ice Assault to the face. He's going to fall as well. Tier 2 tower pressured. Cyclone no beads. He needs to be careful here.
I mean, this is 13-3. Damn near a 10,000 gold lead. Like, what? AFK is just... They're just not there at all. It's 13,000 experience, dude, and there's no level 20s on the board. That just completely means that AFK is outclassed in this game as it stands.
I mean, Samshrew is 4 levels behind, Encon 3 levels behind, 2 from the other players, and it's just... It's rough for them. And
It's
Legion
rough for,
is
Incon has their
tanking.
chance, really.
Legion is tanking up. I mean, 2 mystical males on the board, a sovereignty, Runeforge. Like, it's going to be hard for them to find anything.
Allied better have a good doctor's note as to why he wasn't at this game. Right? Like, he better present it to Incon, like, all right, sir. I had strep throat.
Honestly, it's not even like Samshu's playing bad.
It's about the synergy, though, man.
I
you
would
know as
say
well as
that.
I know.
They got outpicked. I don't know if Allied. I don't know if Allied does anything with picks, but Legion picked like AFK, and AFK picked like not AFK.
Yeah. The Nemesis really threw me off, too. I haven't seen Weekend play it in so long.
I like the Nemesis pick, but they couldn't also run the Geb and New Wall. I think if they had a Poseidon or a Bacchus as well, I think that would have helped them in these early fights. But Legion, they just knew that the Geb and New Wall weren't going to be able to do anything, and they abused that fact. I'm trying to figure out where AFK can come back in. They need to slow down the game, but Legion has to mess up.
Yeah, on top of this, I mean, Legion, normally we see when a team has a lead, if we can let the other team kind of get back into it, they're not taking everything from the jungle, but Legion is methodical in taking all of these buffs. I mean, there is nothing on the map.
Look at Weekend, he's in trouble.
And in comes the Wrath of Terra. He's knocked up. Geb Shield's going to help. He gets stunned out as well, and Circle of Protection will clear this one up as Petrify isn't going to hit anyone, but it didn't need to as DJ Pernicus, my man's on a rampage. He's saying, you know what? Everyone's doubted me for too long. Not only am I jacked, but I'm also great at this game.
He actually is jacked still.
Right?
DJ Pernicus has always been fantastic, but he's never been able to make anything work with the team. Now on Legion, he's making it work, and he's showcasing his individual skill that he's always had. He's always been an incredibly strong jungler. Finally, he gets to showcase
No
it.
way. That's the dream. 4 people Cataclysm. Will Incon get it? AFK destroys the Fire Giant. Incon, you're insane. It stops the bleeding.
It stops,
for sure.
It stops the bleeding here, but Legion, they're going to keep pushing. They have a 12K gold lead here. It was an incredibly important steal that was probably going to seal the game.
Oh, yeah.
If Legion was able to secure that. They stun him out, they knock him up, but they couldn't get the Fire Giant low enough.
Never give up, never surrender. Buzz Lightyear is actually Incon's favorite guy from Toy Story. I made that up.
I'm not going to answer that.
It wasn't a question.
I'm not going to respond to that.
You should. You don't like Buzz Lightyear?
Taking a look here, it is a Frostbound Hammer coming out from Nemesis. 17,000 experience difference.
You can see a little bit of
12,000 in gold. Yeah, I mean, it's you don't really get gold and XP from it. Oh, and I just noticed Weekend was dead when that happened, so he doesn't have Fire Giant.
Now, only Kiki and Samshrew will be having the Fire Giant item. Ideally, you want Cyclone to have it, right? He's the highest level on the team at level 17. Kiki, level 16. And we're going to see a Blink come in here from Incon. He avoids the Petrify. Very, very smart play out of him. But Panicat 2 levels on top. And Cyclone Spin calls the swap. And he goes, all right, Incon, let's do the duo thing here as DJ Pernicus is lingering. Divine Judgment on him as well. Do they have the burst damage? He avoids that, but he gets stunned out, and now Cataclysm hits. This is all on the Protect Circle, though, man. That's really tough, as now Weekend just catches that as well. They were able to take the Fire Giant, but they're still just so outclassed in this game.
Weekend keeps trying to make plays, but he's not able to find anything, and now Cyclone Spin incredibly low. He's going to dash out in time, but Legion of Carrots, what looked like a good pick coming out from AFK, it's going to turn.
No, he did it. No, he did it. And Pain to Beyond will be right there following the blink of DJ Pernicus. He's looking for it, and you can see that's the damage of the Clay Soldiers that we were talking about. It's just so hard to get off. And even still, DJ Pernicus, if they had Fire Giant, this would be over so fast, but Incon was luckily able to steal that away. Colossal Fury comes out, which means that he will stay in big baby form for a long period of time due to the Phoenix attacking him as well. And you will see him walk off.
Either Phoenix. Legion of Carrots, kind of a split decision there. Incon able to hold off Wellplat as Weekend rotated in. But right now, Legion of Carrots sitting with a 15,000 gold lead, it looks like. Looking incredibly strong, 15K. Fire Giant, it's up in 2 minutes. Wellplat and the rest of them are just going to look to clear the map, push up the lanes, spin their gold, and then back and force the next Fire Giant.
Yep, we got 2 minutes and 10 seconds for this Fire Giant, and really, in that time, AFK can start to get closer to level 20, but it's really all about somehow getting 2 levels onto Incon, who's just not going to find them, right? Incon's going to just be low in this team fight. He is 4 levels behind Pain de Viant. This is really the hard part of playing a support, is just, if you're behind, what the hell do you do? Because your carries are obviously behind as well, so they need the farm. So where do you come up with that experience?
It's going to be rough. You're going to have to repeatedly do your back camps, and it's all about splitting the waves like they are. But it's going to be hard for them. And Cyclone's been trying to split push, but Wellplad's going to cover the option.
Look at that bar. Look at Incon's bar here. I mean, he has nothing. He is
his experience bar.
He's 1/20th of the way. Like, it's going to be really tough.
He's likely to not find any experience for quite some time. And it's going to be a question of whether AFK wants to contest the Fire Giant. I think they're going to have to, but it's going to be rough for them. Cyclone Spin.
They have to contest.
He can't split push. Wellplad covers the option, and now Legion, they're going to extend their lead with his Gold Fury. No one's going to try and contest this. Fire Giant up in 50 seconds. They're going to try and pick someone here in the left lane before they go for it, though.
Yeah, and the Cyclone's been looking for it, and that's going to be Wellplat. I mean, my man's pretty beefed out. Mystical Mail, Rune Forged Hammer, Hasten Fatalis, plus a Heartseeker, and starting off on a Talisman. I mean, he's not going to die anytime soon. And
he's
DJ
also gone
Pernicus,
Shell.
Dude, DJ Pernicus went Gem of Isolation.
I hate him.
That's like, I would rather have a cinder block thrown through my truck window.
No, you wouldn't.
I would. Then deal with that Tremors.
It's going to be hard, right? So Tremors are already slowing you and disorienting you. On top of that, while it will DR itself, the Gem of Isolation is going to do so much work. If he can catch players without dashes, they're not escaping that for 3-4 seconds. By then, Aduro, Wellplat, and Panda Cat are going to clean up kills.
Kiki now still just clearing through here. I mean, he's got his Spear of the Magus, which will help with the Clay Soldiers, just shredding through the protections. But I mean, he's hoping for the dream to be able to finish this Rada Tahuti out. It could be a Chronos Pendant, but even still, I mean, it's still so much gold that they're just not going to have. And the ultimate comes out, giving them vision as well. And Cyclone Spin's able to find a kill on DJ Pernicus on the left side, but this is the Fire Giant. It started up. Incon trying to dance around here. He Geb shields himself, Cataclysms himself as well. Petrify dodges it, and he's just distracting him. He's doing everything. The knockup is good, still managing to stay alive. And then on the left side, I mean, it's all about Cyclone Spin right now. And the guys of AFK are just trying to shove down, trying to make up this gold difference. And this will be 2,000 gold in their hand, but at the cost of the Fire Giant. You have to ask the question.
They're also going to grab this mid tower. So it's interesting, right? They leave Geb to try and steal it again. Realistically, he's not going to, and we saw that. Legion immediately turned on him, but they're able to pick up 2 towers. They don't even get the mid tower because Medusa is able to defend it out. I think they should have just went for it instead of the wave and then backed off, but not able to find it.
And the worst part about this is they see that Legion is just marching down the mid lane here, so they can't recall fast. They have to just, kind of take their time and do everything. And still, if we could hover on Incon here, I would love to see the experience bar still. And you can see, I mean, he's like a couple creeps away from level 13 at 26 minutes.
He's got his core defense items, though, in Heartward and Cybertine. You saw him last for a little bit here. Now it's just the luxury and flex items. Going for a Magi so he can immune the heavy CC that Legion has. But he's not likely to pick that up for the rest of the game.
Tier 2 in the long lane, taken. Tier 2 in the mid lane, disappeared. Right lane, been gone for forever. And we will now see the last time Legion marched on the base of AFK was, well, they didn't come up with much of anything.
AFK has started to come online, though. If we can find someone in the back line, it's going to be important. But there's a ton of protection. Shell 3 now for Wellplat.
And they have Heavenly Agility in case things get out of hand. And Clay Soldiers come out. The burst damage comes on to DJ Pernicus. Circle of Protection's there as well. And they're just trying to delay. Divine Judgment has been used as well, slowing him down. Kiki's still doing a good job. Wrath of Terror is going to be there. Cyclone Spin trying to run away for his life. Weekend trying to body block. Wellplat, he's all up in the action. He's now on the Phoenix. Incon trying to delay. Incon in a lot of trouble. He Geb shield himself, and now he's trying to run away. Down he goes, and now the Phoenix will be next. Legion of Carrots, they've yet to drop a single player in this assault, and now they have taken 2 Phoenixes. This has gone much better for them than the last time, but they do have to worry about the far left Phoenix still.
No ultimates available for Legion. AFK going in deep. Weekend 1v5 just walks in and gets blown up instantly.
And now Cyclone Spin, speaking of 1-on-5, he wants DJ Pernicus. There's one. Calls the ultimate. He's up in the air. The chariot has basically came to him to rescue him, as now Samshrew will try to hold this lane.
Gaps up.
Well plaid. Well, that's the burst damage there. He's on him. Geb's coming in. They're looking to be able to hold here. The knock-up's going to hit. The question is can Cyclone Spin get in their action? He comes forward. He hits the Mez, helping out the team. Down goes one, looking for Pain. Pain is next. He hits the minions. They're dead. Still going forward. He has his dash in 4 seconds. Incon's coming forward. He's going to hit the dash. He's going to go for it, and they're actually going to call him back. AFK holds, but their base is under attack.
Yeah, Legion there took too long to decide what they wanted to do. They didn't know if they wanted to take the Phoenix or back off. You saw them sitting there pondering. Finally, Wellplaid goes in and tanks it after a huge spirit ball by Isis, finding Neith in the background. But then Incon, because he's so under-leveled, he's actually able to come up before Legion of Carrots can continue the push.
Very important
get the shield
fact.
off,
Yep.
and that allowed Cyclone Spin to find someone in the back line.
The other thing, too, is that Legion of Carrots, although they've had this huge lead, and I mean, take a look at the charts here for me, Clumsy D, as we see it. I mean, 19,000 experience, 16,000 gold. Although they have this lead, at the end of the day, it's getting eerily close to 30 minutes.
Yes.
And that's when both Hunters, Cyclone Spin and Samshrew, will start to take the game over.
I mean, Samshrew, he's more ability-based, so he's not going to be hitting as hard as Panda Cat, who's a very auto-attack-based hunter, and also a bigger team fight ultimate here in the late game. And just take a look at the damage, though. Really, AFK is looking like they have hope. They're starting to get their final items online. AFK Gaming can start to fight them. Even though they're so far behind in gold, it's not like as big a detriment as it was earlier.
Right now, what the big change that's going to happen here is that Legion of Carrots can't just initiate any old kind of lazy way.
Yeah, they can't blindly ult in like they had been. They're not going to be finding the picks like they were before.
DJ Pernicus, the net worth, man, 16,000. What a hell of a summer split he's having so far. I mean, he's 7-3-12 versus arguably the best team in the world. Based on the spring finals, they are, but I mean, Isis as well. Aduro has really showed up to play. I mean, he's got Ratatouille plus Heavenly Agility. And you can see how many protections this team has. Like, we talked about it. The shell, yeah, it's great. And then you mix that with Sylvanus as well, who's got Blink. I mean, this is perfect synergy from the team. And we're actually starting to see Weekend. He's lingering around in the jungle. They might be going for the split push here.
They're going to trade out once again. This time, they're going to go for the Phoenix instead of the towers, and they're going to let Incon try and steal, but it's not in time. His rollout's down. He's gone.
Yeah, Incon's dead. That's trouble. And now they have Wellplaid, who's all the way back there. Somehow he's been managed to stay alive. He's down for 40 seconds here. Level 40. And now we'll see as...
It's going to be hard for him to defend this, but they're going to back off there.
I mean, the bigger question is it worth for AFK to keep going for this? They got to get Cyclone back.
Wellplaid is stopping them. Wellplaid is stopping Weekend here. They're going to grab this mid-Phoenix. They're going to head over to the right one that's spawning shortly.
And it was a gutsy call, but... Oh, he gets pulled. Samshrew in a lot of trouble. Perfect beads, though, out of him. Cyclone in 4 people. He gets 1, and now he's got a boxing match. Last rate will prevail, as we will now see AFK's Phoenix just get taken. The far left one is still up, but it's the only one. They're on the Titan. 74%. Incon trying to hold.
They don't know what
the
they
burst damage from the Clay Soldiers is good. Weekend on the backside. The Tremors are following up. Samshrew still poking around. Kiki waiting on the cooldowns here. He's getting it, and just like that, AFK will lose game number 1 to Legion of Carrots. Legion of Carrots, you know, it was looking like, oh God, they're not going to end this. And it's over, right? Like, I thought that comeback was going to happen, but in reality, Legion, that first 18 minutes, AFK was not AFK.
No, they got outpicked is really what it comes down to. Legion, like I said earlier, picked like AFK. They picked these gods that really control early, and also they were able to translate to the mid game and make huge impacts. Really, Weekend just kept diving in, trying to find kills, but they had this huge protect comp that AFK likes to run. They had the shell on Vamana. They had the Isis able to drop down circle protection, huge protections, and the Sylvanus whips also protections.
Yep. Well, we're going to go ahead and take a look at DJ Pernicus, who got the first blood of the game here. You will see it was all about the invade. He steals the buff, and then, well, he punches you in the face. Level 2, giving him an extra ability, giving him the stun, and, well, curtains. Fat Loki prevails.
Yep, that's twice now we've seen him play this god, and to great effect. And they got outpicked, right? AFK got outpicked, but Legion executed perfectly as well. They made sure to continue to abuse their team comp.
Yep. Well, let's go ahead and take a look at the jungle camp. I'm expecting this to be highly lopsided, and 66% in favor here.
Look at that red buff on AFK's side, and the purple, right? It's majority
look at
of
the
them.
Mana.
Just like a majority of their buffs went to Legion.
Legion on the blue buff. Poor Cyclone Spin. Poor guy.
I mean, it was
Apollo.
great.
He needs that.
Yeah.
And the bigger thing, too, as well, is that he didn't start off with Bluestone Pendant on Apollo. So he wasn't getting that mana filled up.
Yeah, but DJ played fantastic, just like the rest of his team. However, he is player of the game. 7-3 and 13 as Cabrakan. We saw him start off strong and then continue the pressure throughout the game.
I don't think a lot of people were expecting to see Cabrakan be this dominant coming out of the jungle, and that might have kind of surprised AFK. But when Cabrakan's ahead in game, he is one of the strongest gods possible. And now with his ultimate that recently got buffed to where it comes out instantly as soon as you step, you can just see the night and day difference it has made. And Cabrakan is just, he's lethal.
Yeah, Aduro also doing a fantastic job. All of the team, really, Weekend kept going in, and they just focused him down every time.
He was trying to make something out of nothing.
Yeah, he was like trying to basically, it almost seemed like he was trying to play ranked. He's like diving into their back line, and then Legion is not a team that's just going to be like, all right, you can kill our players. We're just going to turn and kill them.
Yep. Well, guys, for those of you out there who are questioning whether or not you should play Smite on the Xbox One, well, you should. And we're also going to be dropping a bunch of keys in the chat here. Mr. Hi-Rez Dan McHuge, for those of you at home, will be in control of that. So tweet him, let him know that you want the code. But obviously, when you get the founders pack here, you get the Soldier of Fortune Ares as well as Kako Demon X and 400 gems.
Yep.
It's fantastic. And plus, if you're really good at Smite, or if you're just play Smite already, you can pub stomp the hell out of these guys.
You can even destroy Scott Gandhi. He's not that tough.
Adonis, please, bro. Pon and I 2v3'd the esports boys.
No,
yeah.
Pon carried your team.
I don't care what you say. You lost to my producer. Okay, so my producer, Andy Anderson, he's a great guy. He's like 40, never played a video game in his life.
Man, shots.
Beat.
He didn't beat me.
He beat your team. He was a part of the team that beat you.
I was positive. I need that.
You don't. You have fake notes in there. It's a prop.
No, it's not. I actually do have notes.
You have nothing in there.
I really...
You got nothing. Anyways, game number 2 here.